my wonderful geometry students. So in this video, we're going to go over topic 10.3, chords. This is our last topic in topic 10. Okay, we're not going to do the other topics, and we're not going to have a general test for topic 10. Okay, the only quiz / test we had was the one for 10.1 and 10.2, and that's it. Okay, after this, we're going to move directly on to topic 11. Okay. So a chord is a line segment that has endpoints on the circumference of a circle. So this is, okay, chord AB. And we actually label this with, we need to have a line on top, okay? That indicates that it's a line, and a chord is a line. It's just within a circle. So line, chord AB, okay? If you don't have that line up top, it's not considered correct, right? It's just two letters. Doesn't make sense. So, congruent chords in a circle. Two minor arcs are congruent if and only if, and we shorten this a lot to IFF, their corresponding chords are congruent. So that means that arc LM can only be congruent if to arc XY if the chord LM is congruent to the chord XY. Okay. So remember these little, like I said, these are important. The little arc says that it's an arc, and the line says that it's a chord. Okay, those symbols that go on top are really important, especially because like we're using the same letters. Okay. So what we know about central angles is that this central angle, okay, is going to be the same as arc AE, okay? So what we know about central angles is that the intercepted arc is congruent to the angle measure. So it says that these angles are congruent, therefore arc AE, so arc AE is going to be congruent to arc BD, okay, which means their chords are congruent, okay? These chords here are congruent, so that means chord AE is congruent to chord BD, and we can set them equal to each other, so we can do 2x minus 5 is equal to x, all right? Then we're going to add 5 on both sides, and we'll have 2x is equal to x plus 5. Now we need to get x all by itself, so we can do that by subtracting x. Okay, those go away. And then 2 minus 1 is x, so x equals 5. Boom, boom, boom. All right. Like I said, pause the video when you need to, okay? Make sure you're taking notes. And I have printable notes, so if you have a printer, right, you can print the blank copy of our slides. So congruent chords. In a circle, two chords are congruent if and only if they are the same distance away from the center. Okay? So, the only way that two chords are congruent, so the only way that this chord right here that I'm going to mark in green is congruent to the one that's marked in now blue is if they are the same distance from the center, and this could be like center A. So we're at circle A. So if x is 7, determine if jk is equal to lm. So what you're going to do is you're going to plug in 7 into both sides. 4 times by 7 plus 5. And then you're going to work both sides kind of at the same time. Okay, so 2 times 7 is 14. 14 plus 9 is equal to 4 times 7 is 28. So 28 plus 5. Okay. Oh, it's minus 5. It's not plus 5. Oops. See, I made a mistake. It's all good. So, awesome. 14 plus 9 is 23. And 28 minus 5 is 23. Check. So, JK is congruent or equal to ML if x is equal to 7. All right. Now, chords and perpendicular bisectors. A diameter or a radius is perpendicular to a chord, then it bisects the chord and its arc. Excuse me. So, the perpendicular bisector must be of a chord, must be a diameter or a radius. Okay, remember that perpendicular bisector. When it says bisect, that means it cuts it into two halves, okay? So if we cut a ruler in half, we cut it into two pieces of 6 inches, right? Because there's 12 inches in a ruler, so if you have two equal parts, you've got 6 and 6, okay? So, let's come down here. Let's find the length of the diameter. Now, okay, I know what you're thinking. You're like, this is weird, okay? So, what we can do, all right, this right here, this box here says it's perpendicular. So that means that this line is cut into two equal parts. So there's 40 in here in red, and then the other half, okay, I'm going to mark in green as 40, okay, because this line cuts it in half. Okay, right, it cut it in half into two equal parts of 40. So what we can do for this problem, okay, is kind of just draw another radius, okay? We're going to draw another radius. Now this little teeny tiny section right there, remember it's 9, I know I kind of covered it up, but that's 9, that little teeny tiny part is 9, and then now we have a triangle. So we can use Pythagorean's theorem. Okay, this is a right triangle, right? So let's use Pythagorean's theorem. And remember, C is always the longest side. And for this one, okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do, and remember, Pythagorean's theorem is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And C is always the longest side. So we'll put 40 squared plus 9 squared is equal to c squared, because we're trying to find the longest side, okay? Then 40 squared is 1,600 plus 81 is equal to c squared. Add them together, you get 1,681 equals to c squared. Then to undo a square, you need to take the square root. The square root of 1,681 is 41. So 41 equals c. So we know that the radius is 41. So our radius is equal to 41. To find the diameter, we're going to multiply that by 2. So diameter is equal to 41 times 2. And 41 times 2 is 82. So it's 82 inches, the diameter. Pythagorean's theorem, we can use it for all kinds of things. All kinds of things. Alright, guys. So, let's keep going. Alright. So, now, you try. Okay. Remember, this right here, right? You're trying to find x. But, this chord right here, okay, this one, and I'm going to mark it in blue. Cut the I'm going to mark this one in green. It cut the green line in half. So if this is 10.8, this is also 10.8. Boom. Be careful of what you use. A squared plus b squared equals c squared, okay? X is not going to be c this time around. Alright, guys. So you try it. Make sure you box your answer so I know you got it. So, intersecting chords. If two chords intersect in a circle, then the arc measures are half of the intercepted arcs. Half of the sum of the intercepted arcs. So, okay, this angle right here, okay, this angle I'm going to mark in red, is congruent to that angle by vertical angles, right? So vertical angles tell us that these two are equal. But, okay, to find the angle measure, you have to take x plus y and divide it by 2. So you're going to take x, whatever, it'll be x degrees plus y, and divide it by 2. So, find the value of x in each identified angle or arc measure, okay? So, we're going to have to find x and plug it back in. So, what we can do, okay, is we're going to say 3x is equal to, okay, so we took the 3x from right here, and that is equal to the 118, and I'm not going to write that in yellow because that would be horrible, plus 2x minus 18, and we're going to set that over 2. Okay. So let's simplify the top portion. Okay, so we'll have 3x is equal to, remember we have like terms, so 118 subtract 18 is 100 plus 2x divided by 2. Now what's really cool here, right, is 100 is divisible by 2 and 2 is divisible by 2. So if we divide, let's just go ahead and divide these both by 2, okay? So when we divide that by 2, we're going to get 50. And when we divide that by 2, you're going to get 1. So you'll have 3x is equal to 50 plus x. Okay? Then again, we can keep kind of going. We got to have all the x's on the same side. So we're going to move this x over. Okay, those cancel. 3x minus x is 2x is equal to 50. Then we're going to divide by 2. Divide by 2. And x is equal to 25. Now that we know what x is, we need to plug it back in. Okay, we're not done yet, so we got to plug it back in. And so for this one, we'll do 3x is equal to 3 times 25, which is equal to 75, right? Because if you've got 3 quarters, you've got 75 cents, right? Then we have to do it the same for the other one. This one we already know, right, is 118. So we'll plug it into 2x minus 18 is equal to 2 times by 25 minus 18. 2 times 25 is 50 minus 18. 50 minus 18 is equal to 32. So this arc right here is 32 degrees, okay? So that arc is 32 degrees, and then we determined that this inside angle was 75 degrees. Perfect. Perfect, guys. Let's keep going. Alright, now, you try. Okay. Make sure to pause the video, try it out for yourself, okay? So you're going to take 53 and set it equal to 3x plus 3 plus 10x minus 14 over 2. Awesome. And actually, I'll set this up for you. 53 is equal to 3x plus 3 plus 10x minus 14 over 2. So that's the formula you're going to use. Make sure you combine like terms correctly, okay? I expect to see the answer. Box it so I know where to look. Intersecting chords. Alright. I'm gonna stop the video here, and so make sure you watch the next video to get the rest of the information. Thanks, guys.